Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. Today, we're going to talk about the next new moon. This is going to happen next week. We just went through an eclipse season, the annular eclipse on the 14th of October, and then the lunar eclipse on the 28th. And these cycles are speaking to larger themes that we're going to be dealing with as a collective over the next 6 months. This current new moon is going to occur in the constellation of Libra and in the sign of Scorpio. So on this channel, we use the actual sky. So I'll be talking about Libra themes. And I think in general, it's more relevant to what our collective is going through together. So let me go ahead and just get the chart up for you guys. I'm going to share the screen. We're going to see where we're going here. Where did I put it? It's right here. Okay, so this is the new moon. So you can see here that the sun, moon, and Mars are all in a very tight conjunction here the moment the new moon goes exact where I live. This is going to happen very, very early in the morning on the 13th of November, and it may happen at a different time depending on where in the world you are. So what we're going to talk about is this relationship here in this constellation, the opposition to Uranus. We are also going to talk about Venus, these minor aspects. I've been looking a lot into minor aspects, so we're going to talk about how that actually affects all this energy, and we're going to just go through it. Let me just talk to you guys about a couple of things really, really quickly before we get going into this, because I feel like y'all just pay better attention to what I want to show you. Thing one, come over to Facebook and join the Fellowship of 13 Sign Astrology. This is where I am doing all of my teaching stuff. This is where we can talk about astrology. If you have a spiritual-based business and you're in this group, Fridays are free for you guys. You can post your links, post your offers, whatever you want, but you have to tell me about it creatively, because Friday is Venus's day. So everything that is, Venus, creative, beautiful, lovely, that's what I want to see on Friday. So if you join us, do that. This is my latest post here, The Moon in Your Health. This course is a mini course. It is $10 to join us live. If you register and enroll anyway, but you can't come to the time and date of the class, you're going to get a link to review and download the video, as well as a 3-month sample of a moon journal that's accurate for all of November, December, January. So I'm going to teach you how to fill out the moon journal, what everything means inside of it, and how you can work with it over the next 3 months. So it's a great deal for $10. I mean, you get to spend an hour and a half with me, and I teach you how to do your moon journal, and then there'll be an opportunity for questions, and you get the whole course recorded for you so that you can review it later. So great. I'll put a link to register and enroll for this. All you have to do is click here, you add it to your cart, you pay for it, then you're going to get 2 emails. One says, yes, I got your payment, and the other one will be save the date and register. So there's 2 steps to this, okay? This will give you a link to go ahead and register with Zoom, and then you'll be in, and then an hour before the course, you're going to get a reminder to join us. The other big thing I'm doing right now, my Venus and Virgo video just dropped. That's covering all of November and halfway through December. If you guys want a Venus through Virgo and Libra reading, I will leave a link for this as well. You get a full reading on your natal Venus. You get a reading of your sun, moon, lunar nodes, and all of your other planets, as well as Ophiuchus. You're going to get progressed moon energy. This is a very detailed, accurate, thorough reading for the next 8 weeks for you with your creative Venus power. These videos are amazing. Takes me a little while, but I love doing them. So I'll leave a link for this. You guys can check it out. And then also, guys, I'm doing courses. So I will leave a link to this as well, where you can check out my courses. I have a free course that'll get you all the basic astrology and vocabulary and the anatomy of a natal chart. So the first one's free, but the other ones you got to get. This right here is the best deal right here, where you get all 3 of these courses wrapped into one, and it's over 60 examples. There's 26 video modules. There's 9 hours of teaching. If you already know astrology and you want a little bit more of a deeper read, maybe into the story that I use when I read astrology, this is a great course too. This is basically my 13 gates journey. So I walk you through some star energy. I show you where everything is in the sky. We go over the sun sign dates. I talk about Saturn through all of the signs, and I talk about the moon through all the signs. So this is also a great course. Okay, so that's everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. I will not push my stuff anymore. Let's get into talking about the astrology for this coming new moon. Let me get that picture back up right here. Okay, so the first thing we talk about, obviously, is this conjunction of the new moon, the sun, and Mars. This is a new cycle of intention. Anytime you have a new moon, moon conjunct sun, this is a new cycle of intention. And it's going to be in and around the constellation in which it happens, which is why doing sidereal true sky astrology is so important, because this is what the cosmos wants us to work on. These luminaries are in Libra. They are not in Scorpio at this time. And so Mars is going to be a big part of this, because Mars is conjunct the sun, Mars is conjunct the moon, and this is the beginning of a new Mars cycle. Next year, Mars will do a retrograde movement through the constellation of Cancer, and that will be halfway through his cycle, which is about 700 days. So in Libra, the theme is basically balancing two truths, right? We're walking that curvy road between two polarities. So I don't know if you all are familiar with the yin and the yang symbol. I'm sure all of us are. But in one side of the symbol, you've got one polarity, and the opposite energy is a single solitary point. And then in the other side of the yin yang, you've got another polarity with the opposite polarity as a singular point. And the idea is to walk this windy path between these two polarities in balance, recognizing both sides, seeing both sides. This is very much Libra energy. If you go back into the mythology of Libra, it's very reminiscent of the Egyptian Ma'at and the Hall of Two Truths. So when your soul passes from this physical plane, you go to a place where your heart is weighed against that feather. And the feather's really light, right? So when you dive deep and you take these two ideas together, is your heart heavier or lighter than a feather? What does your heart represent to you? That's your emotional energy. That's what makes you go, oh, I'm in love, or oh, that hurts. So you feel things in your heart. So it's saying, what are you feeling? What's weighing you down? What did you die? What did you bring with you into the afterworld that is going to weigh your heart down? So keep that in mind as we talk about this. What weighs on your heart so much, and how do you release that weight? And so you can join the celestials in the next realm. And I really feel like this new moon is going to teach us that we should not wait for death to release this heaviness in our hearts. Some things we were literally not meant to carry, right? Some things that happen in this world that we see, that we witness, that we feel like we're a part of, were never our weight to carry in the first place. And so why on earth, or why out of earth, would you carry that weight into the next realm, right? So the next thing that happens, the other thing that's happening during this moon, let me get my pen out again, is that Uranus is opposing this energy. Uranus is retrograde on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. Tropical astrology is going to tell you that Uranus is in Taurus right now. It's not. It's here in Aries, and will not be in Taurus until the middle of next year, and it will complete a full transit. Uranus takes 84 years to transit and go through the entire zodiac once. So where it is very important, because it affects an entire generation, and it's opposing this Mars, Sun, Moon energy. It's opposing it. There's a balance. It's like, so Uranus is electric. It's your uniqueness. It's your revolutionary attitude. It's your rebelliousness. And in Aries, it's that I am energy. It's that beginning energy, that creation energy. Mars is the divine will, wanting The divine is coming down and saying, yes, we must balance these two polarities. But at the same time, Uranus is going to give you erratic spurts of rebelliousness, self-empowered energy, possibly even nervous breakdowns. Like, why can't the world see it my way? Why can't they see how we could fix everything if we just did this? If we just buck the system and we stop doing these stupid things like daylight savings time, for example. I'm recording this after the time change, right? So, everyone wakes up and they're like, don't forget to burn your clocks tonight because time doesn't exist. Why can't we just stop? And in some places they have, but in some places they haven't. That might be a very benign example, but more severe examples could be kind of an internal conflict for us at the collective level. So I don't think this is going to be an easy lunar cycle for us, especially, I don't think it's going to be easy for anybody, but I especially think it's going to be difficult for the sleepy and unawakened masses. They're going to feel incredibly conflicted. They're going to be like, oh, why? Why does it have to be like this? And when you're watching things that bother you, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. We're talking about global conflicts that are on the other side of the planet, where if you didn't even know what's going on and you just went about your day, you would literally be unaffected. But we're being made to watch this, but we can't stop it, right? So there's this frustrating energy, like, yes, war is dumb, stop it. But sometimes the things that people need to go through in their area of the world is very important for them, for their evolution, right? So, it could be something that's supposed to be happening. Part of our collective energy has a lot to purge and work through, and we are witnesses to this. This is part of us. This is not energy that we're supposed to take into ourselves and process. This is literally like something we need to witness, be aware of, and have compassionate detachment towards. And I think it's all going to culminate around the Taurus full moon in a couple of weeks. And I'll do a video on that later. I got to kind of sit with that and think about it and watch what's happening. But for those of us that are watching this energy, for those of us that are connected to it, this might be an opportunity to take that higher road, to release that energy from our hearts, lighten our hearts in preparation for this next full moon. Some energy that might be very helpful to us is this Neptune retrograde in Pisces, trining on the Sun, Moon, and Mars. This can be a very magical energy. Neptune is the blue goddess where it rains diamonds. Did you know it rains diamonds? The pressure and the gravity is so high that when moisture is falling from the sky, it's diamonds. At least that's what they theorize. I just kind of imagine the surface of Neptune, if there even is one, and diamonds falling from the sky and the sand kind of glittering. But this Neptune might feel like an irresistible energy to escape into the dream and the beauty of peace and oneness, right? So escaping into the dream. Right? And don't a lot of us love and light people want to do that? Like, I don't even want to know what's going on. It makes me so sad to hear about all the horrible things. Let's go. Let's just leave this place. So, and a trine is like, just this irresistible pull, but remember, you still have to observe. You still have to see what's going on, but you don't have to serve. Okay? So this feels like observe, but don't serve. Don't serve. And what do we mean by serve? That means giving your emotional energy to it, like giving energy to the bad shit you see. Don't do it. Avoid the temptation, but also avoid the temptation to escape, to completely escape and not understand what's happening. Okay, so stay aware here. Remember, observe but not serve. The energies coming in might trigger you, might scare you, but don't escape. Have compassion and understanding, but do not engage, unless that's what your soul's called to do. Like some of us are called here to fight, to get in there and to stay the hand that would hurt another human. But some of us aren't even involved, so we must observe and not serve. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of these minor aspects. I know I don't do this a lot, but I'm really loving some of the energy that we get with it. And one of the things that's also happening is that there is this Sun, Moon, Mars is quincunxing the North Node in Pisces. See this line right here? A lot of us know what a sextile is. A sextile is this symbol. This is always an opportunity. It's neither polarity, it's good news and bad news. A quincunx is where you just take it in half. It's like the inconjunct. It's almost, it's like 150 degrees apart rather than 180 degrees apart. And this is usually like a setback of some sort. So the North Node in Pisces has always felt like to me our collective's goal towards universal love and oneness, right? But we might suffer a setback here around this lunar cycle, at the beginning of this lunar cycle. So that's what that quincunx is doing. It's saying, if we don't have this balance, if we don't have this compassionate detachment, walk that curvy road between the polarities, we may suffer a setback. Because how can you have universal love and oneness when we're fighting ourselves? So that's what that quincunx feels like. So that's coming. That's there. Venus is going to semi-square Uranus. And, I'm sorry, sesquiquadrate Uranus and semi-square Mars, Moon, Sun. This creates what I think like half of a yod. I think that's what people call that. So here is the semi-square. So you have Virgo and Libra, and then here is the sesquiquadrate. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Venus and Virgo. If you guys haven't seen the Venus and Virgo video, please do that. It's really, really good. There's a lot of nice Venus energy. If you guys are Venus focused or Venus centered or follow my Venus work, this is a great time for us. You know, observe and not serve the world. Focus over here. We may do a little bit better. And so Venus is relating to the new moon energy as well as to that internal rebelliousness, that feeling like, why can't people see this? Venus is very much a part of this because she is how we create and how we relate. Venus attains enlightenment through experiences of the senses, right? Everything she feels in her body through her 5 3D senses, but also her higher senses, her intuition, her emotional body, her etheric body. In Virgo, her power is with the elements of matter in the 3rd dimensional realm. So she brings creation and matter into being from nothing in this space. And this new moon's going to feel like she's being pulled into the conflict, right? So your body, your Venus, your sensual energy is going to feel tempted both by Uranus's angst and being pulled into the sublime of Neptune, the escapism of Neptune. And I feel like this is going to be a very difficult time for me because I'm very Venus centered to discern what's authentically happening, within my channel and within my creative energies, because I'm going to see stuff that's out there, but I'm also going to feel stuff from within, very powerful stuff that's going to make me maybe a little bit frustrated, right? Maybe a little bit rebellious, a little bit angry. Maybe I want to just throw the baby out with the bathwater in order to, achieve what I need to achieve. But then at the same time, I may also be very tempted to escape into the dream and to just not even pay attention. And Venus is going to be touching all that energy. All right. When we do a moon reading, we also want to look at the nodes, and our dear friend Pluto in Sagittarius is now direct. That started on the 10th of October and is still T-squaring our lunar nodes here and here. So here's the square to the south node, and here's the square to the north node. We've been dealing with this all year, right? This is Pluto's ultimate question to our collective's journey from the south node to the north node, from the tail of the dragon to the head of the dragon. This is the direction we want to go. And Pluto's asking everyone, are you sure? This is empowerment. This is purification. That which does not work will be purged. And it will be of the highest truth and of the highest wisdom because of its position in Sagittarius. So Pluto is going to uncover deep truths and destroy what is false. Our collective destiny is going through a death and a rebirth, quite reminiscent of the death and the rebirth of the phoenix, the rising of the phoenix. And we're used to this energy. I think a lot of us have gone through that. A lot of us have gone through a lot of purging and rebuilding this year. If you've been doing the healing and the casting off the energy that isn't really you, then the higher perspective of Libra is going to serve you very well for this next lunar cycle. But you need to get there. You need to get there. Observe, don't serve. I urge everyone to buckle down and hold on for this next lunar cycle, because this is what we're going to be dealing with. So the next thing that's happening is Chiron. We can't forget our dear friend Chiron, the healer, the wounded healer teacher. If you guys remember the mythology of Chiron, Chiron is the centaur, and he was wounded. And because he was an immortal, that wound for some reason would not heal. So he was doomed to suffer eternally with a wound. And Chiron resists enlightenment. He doesn't want to heal those wounds because he needs them. He needs them to heal. That's his purpose. And then he wants to teach you about those wounds. So he will always be that thorn in our side. He will always be that something under your fingernail or that splinter that you can't quite get out, but that you have to observe and understand is part of it. And as a collective, we're going through that. And Chiron specifically in Pisces is the loss is the disconnection to spirit, to the higher self. And the sleepy, unawakened masses, are they not disconnected from their higher selves? I think they are. So Chiron's teaching us to let go of those wounds, to love them or let them go, right? Tapping, constantly tapping on them. And then finally, the last one I want to look at is Neptune and the South Node are also quincunxing. So here's one more quincunx that is very light. Ooh, oh, my hand did that. Right here. Here's that line. Okay. Neptune really literally cannot relate to the old wounds anymore. Neptune's over it. Neptune wants to escape. So I think during this new moon, it might be good to step out for a moment, check in with what's authentic, check in with the universal oneness, the higher self, and understand what's true, and really hold on to that. Really use that energy through this new moon. And when these feelings of angst come up, resist the urge to escape. Understand that we're all still going through this purifying process. It's very purifying. We're going to come out of the other end of this really good. This is probably going to be a 6-month arc of energy, probably through the next eclipse in April. So we're going to get a very big taste of this with this next full moon that's coming in 2 weeks, because the reason I keep saying the full moon is because this new moon is the beginning of this cycle. And these energies are giving us a clue of how it's going to play out. Okay, so get ready, you guys. I think that's everything I wanted to tell you. Yep. Okay. Let me clear all of that. If somebody came into the end of this video, they'd be very confused. All right. Don't forget to check out all the links in the comments and in the description. That'll take you to all the places where you can work with me and reach out to me. Also, subscribe to this channel, you lurkers. I know you're out there. And then if you enjoyed the content and you learned something from this, and maybe you'll get something from this, give me a thumbs up. It's easy for you to do, okay? All right, you guys, until next time, join the course this Saturday. I can't wait to see you guys. Namaste.